I'm going to make an effortless experience for customers and employees, I got to have a software that I interact every single day with that makes it easy for them to learn and to execute. The difference with Tekion to me is two things. One is its modern architecture. It's built the way that consumers and employees communicate today, which is a mobile tablet and a phone. That is how everyone communicates today. It's not built from a desktop out. It's built from using mobile solutions. That and the fact that when you actually engage in the software, it's very Apple-like in its ease of use. The CDK and Reynolds actually takes you probably 6 months to a year to learn how to speak the language. It doesn't come intuitively. When you look at sort of the traditional Reynolds and CDK, whose architecture is probably 40 or 50 years old, it works, but you really have to know the tricks of the trade, and you have to spend a lot of time learning the shortcuts, because maybe the best example is it takes 180 keystrokes to write up an oil change repair order for a customer on CDK. In Tekion, you can do it on your phone and you don't even need training. That's how simple it is. I'm constantly asking the people who are power users, especially at our Buick GMC store, that were on CDK for a long time, our technicians who've been there for 30 years, what do you think? And honestly, I expected the worst, mostly because it's hard to switch from one system to another without a lot of pain. And generally speaking, I would say almost no complaints.
We've had Tekion for around 3 years now. Very intuitive system, easy. Most of the techs really enjoy using it. We can see appointments, we can see ROs, we can see vehicle data. Tekion is web-based, it's not a server-based. We don't have to worry about server issues or anything like that. So as long as you have internet, you're good to go.
I had been on CDK for 8 years. I knew that product very well. So it took me about 2 weeks to kind of become open-minded to the new product. But now I could never go back or go to anything else. Tekion is a far superior product.
They signed me up with a username and password, and I've downloaded the app on my personal phone, and it came right up, and the customer drove in the service drive, and I wrote up a car. Never used it before, but it was intuitive, and I'd written up so many cars in my life that just seeing something this easy to use on my phone, it was great. Like, I just couldn't believe it.
With Tekion, I can stay a little more organized with my repair orders that I'm waiting on parts for. So at my store specifically, I do a lot of heavy line, and a lot of the time we have to order parts, and we have some parts in stock, and it's super nice that with Tekion, you can basically set up a notification so it'll let you know when all parts for a job have arrived. So then instead of flipping through ROs and trying to go to parts and figure out what parts are actually in stock, I can very easily check if my parts are here without even having to talk to anybody in parts, and just helps me kind of plan the days better.
Multiple people can be in the repair at the same time. So the parts person who's working on the RO does not have to get out of the RO if a service advisor wants to get in it, okay? Or you can have 4 or 5 people, it doesn't matter. And then it will tell you that it needs to be refreshed because someone's been working in it.
Our sales team are actually able to use Tekion. They're able to look in the system and see their deals. And unlike DriveCentric, our CRM, where maybe all the information isn't correct because depending on how it was put in, all of this is right from the DMS. The information is there. So a salesperson can look inside, look at their deals, see if it's a split or not, make sure that it's booked, closed, how much money they made, what was the PDR, did they get a service contractor on that? And that stuff lives in there forever. So they no longer have to go someone else for information. And especially right now, information is power. We've got contests, cash bash, best of the best. You want your sales team to have access to that information right away without having to go to their manager and say, hey, can you look this up for me? What made Tekion very easy for me is that you get a dedicated support person. One person I was able to book, I could book time with her in 30 minutes or an hour increment, and she would sit there and literally walk me through in a Zoom call and explain to me anything I wanted to know. So one of our newer platform changes that I am super excited about is going paperless. This is going to be a game changer, right? We use so much paper. We're printing out so many happy packets, I call it, the deal folder for your customers, right? And then don't mess up because we're printing a whole nother deal folder, happy packet for the customer. So to be able to do transitions and be able to say, hey, can I send all this to you in a digital file? The customers are like, Absolutely, you could do that. I'd rather just have it in my email anyway. And if we have an update for that file to be updated automatically for them, they get a secure password, they have all their information in front of them. We have customers call all the time and say, hey, I bought a car from you in 1971 and I want to find my paperwork, right? Who's going up to the back office to try to dig through documents? In this scenario, it's not like that because everything lives on the cloud. You can easily find the paperwork, send them another documentation. Customers love it because it's right there. Salespeople love it because they're not standing by the printer waiting in line for someone else's documents to get printed, or is this my paperwork or yours? That has gone away.
What I saw with Tekion is the ability to kind of collapse that time and the energy it took to learn a new software and give them something just like the Apple phone. You don't have directions for a phone, you pick up the phone and you go, I just know how to use it, right? And that really is the essence, I think, of the software. Our knowledge can't stop at implementation. Our knowledge needs to continue to grow as the software grows. And I think that's if we really want to get to the next level, we're going to have to continue to learn.